Today we are going to learn about the order of operations. Can anyone take a guess of what GEMDAS means? What it might mean? No one? Okay. Let's continue to find out. So our SE is 5.4F. The student is expected to simplify numerical expressions that do not involve exponents, including up to 2 levels of grouping. So you will be able to, by the end of the unit, describe the meaning of parentheses and brackets in a numerical expression, describe which operations are included within a set of parentheses and or brackets, describe the relationship between numbers and operations separated by parentheses and brackets, simplify numerical expressions with up to 2 levels of grouping, but no exponents, apply this SE to solve a multi-step application problem in varying contexts, recognize the various ways to represent multiplication, and apply order of operations within a parentheses or bracket. In 4th grade, you use the order of operations to find perimeter of a rectangle when you used length plus the width plus the length plus the width, or 2 times the length plus 2 times the width, including the special form for perimeter of a square, which is 4 times the side, and the area of a rectangle, length times width. Now, this year, you will use it to simplify numerical expressions that do not involve exponents, including up to 2 levels of grouping. And then in 6th grade, you will use it to generate equivalent numerical expressions, including order of operations, including whole number exponents, and prime factorization. So GEMDAS. Earlier, we did not have a taker to guess what GEMDAS might mean. So the G stands for groups. Groups might mean brackets, so brackets or parentheses. So on your soldier paper, you need to also draw the brackets and parentheses to help you in the future. Now down here we have a little blip that tells us we're not responsible for exponents in 5th grade, so you can put a red X through the E. So with your red pen, put an X through the E. You will not need to know this in 5th grade. Now that we know what G stands for, raise your hand if you think you might know what M stands for. Ellie? Good, it does stand for multiplication. So put a multiplication symbol on your paper, and we could have an X, we could have the dot, we could have parentheses, so like 2 times 2, or 2 times 2, or 2 times 2. Those all mean to multiply. Raise your hand if you think you know what the D stands for. Garrett? Good, it does stand for division. So it could be 2 divided by 2, or even 2 over 2. That still needs to divide. The A does stand for addition. And S is subtraction. Good job. So to help us remember the order, we are going to take our markers that you have and we're going to shade them differently. So with your blue marker, shade over the G. Groups is the very first step that we're going to use, and we'll see practice problems in a little bit, and it'll help make more sense to you then. So no matter what, we're going to do everything inside the groups before we move on to anything else. So we have to go from left to right. Okay, we do not have to worry about exponents, remember. After groups, you have to pay attention to multiplication and division. Multiplication are interchangeable. Does anyone know what interchangeable might mean? In your mind, think about it. If I'm saying they're interchangeable, have you ever heard that word before? Joshua? Good. It does mean that they can go in either order. It just depends on which one comes first, left to right. So if in the problem, if multiplication's first in the problem, you have to do multiplication first. If division comes first from left to right, you have to do division first. So even though in GEMDAS it has the M listed first, it just depends on which one comes first, left to right in the problem. So that's why we used yellow to shade in both of them to show that they're together, they're interchangeable. We're going to use this green to shade in both addition and subtraction with green. So in your mind, think about, if I shaded in multiplication and division with yellow, both of them, why might I be shading in addition and subtraction with the same color as well? Turn to your partner and explain to them what you might think. Desk 6. What did you and your partner come up with? Good. It does mean that they're also interchangeable. So again, if whichever one comes first, left to right in the problem. So take your green marker and shade in both addition and subtraction. So when you're solving a problem, you have to look at groups first, then you look for multiplication or division, and then you look for addition and subtraction. So take out your sheet that says what is the first step in each problem. So we're going to look at the first step, and then afterwards we're going to solve a couple of them. So you should still have your soldier sheet telling you which ones come first. So on this number 1, we have 12 minus 3 plus 3. Does everyone see how the 3 plus 3 is inside the parentheses? So parentheses, remember, is part of groups. So we do have to do 3 plus 3 first because it is inside of the parentheses. Parentheses. Now in number 2, does everyone see that there are no parentheses or groups? So on your soldier sheet, what comes next? Multiplication. And then what if there was division in the problem? Good. Then we'd have to look and see which one came first, left to right within the problem. So we only have multiplication here. So you do have to do 2 times 35 first, because multiplication comes before addition and subtraction. With your elbow buddy, I would like you to complete the following 3 problems. When you have them finished, I want you to cross your arms on your desk, and I'll be walking around to make sure that you are completing your work. Okay, it looks like everyone is finished. Table 2, desk B. In problem 3, what comes first? Okay, 12 divided by 6. Do we agree? Ashley, why do you not agree? Okay, because multiplication comes first left in the problem. So even though they're interchangeable, remember, look which one comes first on the, starting from left to right. We read left to right, we do our problems left to right within the order of operations. So we do have to do 2 times 12 next. Because it comes first, left to right. And when I say that, I just mean compared to the division. Remember, addition and subtraction, they come after multiplication and division. Table 5, desk C. What do you think the first step would be in problem 4? Okay, 2 times 3. What is one reason why 2 times 3 comes first? Good, because it's inside the parentheses. Table 6, desk A. What is another reason why 2 times 3 would come first? Why does it come before you have to do 4 plus 2? Good, because within the parentheses, multiplication still needs to come before addition. So, because of the parentheses and multiplication comes before and you need to make sure that you are writing this down as well. You can completely spell it out or you can use the abbreviations like I am. All right, and Heidi, what comes first on number 5? It is 5 times 3, and do you know why? Would you like to call on a friend to help you answer the question? Okay, Adam, why does 5 times 3 come first? Good, because it's in the parentheses, and then we need to go left to right. So, because it's in the parentheses, even though we have 2 sets of parentheses, you need to do the one that comes first, left to right. All right, desk 7, what problem would you like to practice? Okay. Number 3, so you, on your triangle, you need to fill out the problem. So it was 4 plus 2 times 12 divided by 6 minus 2. Okay, and I always like to underline each step that I'm doing. So we already decided that 2 times 12 needs to come first. And what is 2 times 12? Good. So you need to underline it or use a triangle, something to show you, to help you remember that you've done that step. Okay, and I always write it, you have to write it directly below. Okay. And everything gets brought down in the same exact order that it was already in. Okay, what does your soldier tell you to do next? Division, good. And what is 24 divided by 6? 4, okay, and where do I write it? Can I write it right here? Can I write it over here? Good, I do need to write it directly below. And then everything else gets brought down. Okay, I have addition and subtraction left. Does it matter which one I do first? Good, I need to go left to right. So what is 4 plus 4? 8, good. And then bring down your 2. Then your final answer will be 6. Good job. And it should come down in this nice triangle. No matter what, you should be showing your work like that. You need to show each and every step. So we are going to do a think, pair, share. The first question I want you to think about is, what is the first step in the order of operations? Turn to your neighbor. All right, you have about 5 more seconds to talk about it. Okay, if your birthday is in July, please stand up. All right, Alex, what is the first step in the order of operations? Good. Do we agree that it's groups? What if there are not any parentheses? Then what do I do? Okay, again, in your mind, just think about it for a couple of seconds. And turn to the partner to your right, or on the other side. If you have at least 4 siblings, stand up. If you have more than 5 siblings, stay standing. All right, Haley, what do you do if there are no parentheses? All right, good. You need to look and see, do I have multiplication or division? And which one comes first, left or right? And if you don't have multiplication and division, you do addition and subtraction. All right, so for our partner work today, we're going to do Desktop Traveler. After about 20 minutes of the Desktop Traveler, we would then do our exit ticket, which would be to create their own problem, and they would have to have at least 2 steps, and the answer would need to be 8.